All right, that's it for your news this morning headlines. Now, here's John with this week's What's Trending Panel.
All right, thank you so much, Joey. And yes, I am joined here with our fantastic 3 Sunrise panel. That's Natasha Herzig.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Martha Guzman.
Good morning.
Good morning, and Jay Walker.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, we have some quite a bit of a mixture of topics to talk about this morning. Of course, the thing that everyone's been talking about nationally all this week is the David Petraeus affair scandal. Now, of course, he's accused of having an affair. He actually admitted to this with his publisher, who he worked on a book with, and it all came out in the open. And you know, he resigned over all of this controversy. And my question to you guys is, I mean, do you think Petraeus should have resigned from his position because he is the top commander in the country? And do you think what he did compromised Americans' trust in national security? Who wants to jump in?
Okay, well, I'm going to sound immoral here for a little bit. I'm going to say it was just an affair. He has not been found to have done anything illegal, release classified documents, or use CIA resources to carry on the affair. People have affairs every day. People make poor judgments in their personal life and have very successful careers. I don't look at the CIA director and think, wow, I wonder what you're doing in your personal life. I don't care. As long as he's doing his job, I don't care what he's doing in his personal life. If he was a pastor and his career was based upon moral character, then absolutely he should resign, because I look to somebody like that to have good moral judgment. The CIA director, not so much. I will say this, though. It's very interesting how we know more about the Petraeus affair in 2 days than we do about the past years about Fast and Furious and the past few months about Benghazi.
Okay, let me weigh in. Where do I begin? First of all, I think that's what's wrong with this country. It was just an affair. This is a guy who is top, in what he does. Having an affair kind of stains his character, stains his integrity. Do we want someone like that in a leadership position? Had he not come out and resigned, I think it would have detracted from his job, his role, his responsibilities. I think the fact that he resigned is honorable, and let him work on his personal, you mentioned this is personal. At the end of the day, family is the most important thing. He needs to work on his marriage. I respect that. Give him his time to heal and work on his marriage and fix things with his wife and figure out what they're going to do. But I don't think we'll see the last of him. He said he's going to testify in the whole Benghazi thing, so he's not gone, 100%.
That's today, yeah.
But I think, once this is over with, I think, the American public is very forgiving of affairs. So I think, we'll move beyond this and we'll see him in some sort of leadership capacity in the future once this is behind him.
Yeah, and a lot of commentators, let me real fast jump in here, were saying, I heard some on the other side of the fence saying if he can't even keep an affair under wraps, what makes them think that he kept our whole national security under wraps? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Jay,
right,
what do you
but we're talking about the affair specifically, not about anything else. We're talking about the affair. And because of the affair, the thing is America is not forgiving. Take it from me. They are not forgiving because they decide to be your moral judge and jury, no matter what you have done.
Limelight, people move on and they forget about it. There's been so many affairs, and people are like, okay, Bill Clinton, okay, it was the scandal of the whatever, and then people moved on.
Well, who are we to judge him in the first place?
I'm not judging him.
No,
I'm
nobody.
Just saying,
we are not to judge him. He made a poor judgment, and we need to move on.
Yes, and he came out and admitted that. So now we need to respect his decision to work on his family and let someone else take over the CIA director position, focus on the responsibilities and the rules and what's happening at hand while he.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is taken away from our national security, and all the other issues. I mean, it's an affair. I think we need to move it past it. But Jay, what are your thoughts on this? Can you get a word in this morning? All right.
You know what? Since we've been doing this panel, Martha and I haven't agreed on a lot of things together, but I'm a lot closer with Martha this morning than with Natasha. The bottom line is, I do think it is more of a, like your pastor, because this guy is somebody who is so high up in our country that we have people, kids and other adults looking towards that person as a role model, as somewhere I want to go and I want to be. And and if he's letting some journalist come in, and she's flaunting her stuff or doing whatever she's doing to get what she wants for her book, who's to say that we're not going to have some other lady come in and get other kinds of things? He's got to be above all that. It has nothing to do with what he's doing in his personal life. Once you become a figure like a general of the United States of America, you don't have a public life anymore.
He's still a human.
He's still human.
He's still a human. He's still a man. He's still a man. He's still a man.
But he's held to higher standards.
Right.
So.
He has to be. That's why
he's still going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
He's going to make mistakes.
Well,
That's why when you make a mistake, you step down.
Why do you have to step down? Why can't you acknowledge I made a mistake? It was wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize to my wife and to my family. But it's nobody's business. I've acknowledged it.
He made that decision, and so we respect the action that
well, he's resigning because he has no other
choice. And I've heard the argument,
too,
is if he lied to his wife, what makes him think he will not lie to the American public? Right. So that's the person who's closest to him. So, okay, folks, you got it right there. We waited on those two topics right there. But when we come back, please stay with us because we're going to talk about a woman who was punished for doing something, and she has to hold up a sign saying she's an idiot, and also smoking is banned on all Arizona State University campuses and is causing an uproar in some students. We'll have those stories when we come back. But first, here's a look at what's coming up on Today. Welcome back, everyone. Now, we had some heated discussion last round on the Petraeus affair, but we just want to let everyone know our panel is still all friends.
Yeah, we love each other still, you know.
This is the perks of having a panel. They're allowed to agree and disagree with each other. Sometimes it gets heated, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see if this next one gets your guys' engines going, all right? So first of all, we have this Ohio woman who was punished to hold a sign saying she was an idiot for running past a school bus. She basically drove on the sidewalk to get by it while it was letting children off. Now, we have the video here to show the incident. Take a look at this. This is insane. There she is, just zooming right by the school bus.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
driving on the sidewalk. There it is again. Yeah, so she went to court for this. The judge ordered her to hold up the sign on the corner of where that happened. There she is right there holding up the sign, saying that she's an idiot for doing it. Also, she was fined $250, and her driver's license has been suspended for 30 days. Now, the first day of her doing this real fast, she was caught seen texting, smoking, not really caring out there, not even paying attention. And so the judge actually went out there with her the second day and stood with her to make sure that she took her punishment seriously. So my question to you all, I mean, is does this punishment fit the crime, and should it have been more harsh? And if so, or maybe what other punishments would you suggest that should have been thrown into this?
Well, first of all, her sign said that she was an idiot, and I think the sign is well written. She is an idiot. Anybody, I'm sorry, I'm not just calling people names, but to get in a car and drive around a school bus that's letting children off, you're an idiot, okay? Yeah. And I was talking to my wife about this last night. I remember when I'm 40s, in my 40s, so I'm not old by any means, but I remember as a kid driving in the car in my hometown, and I remember, well, what I know now was a chain gang, people in the prison that were all working in the middle of the road, all chained together and actually doing work and stuff. And I remember my parents saying, you don't want to do anything bad because that's where you're going to end up. And they had the whites with the black stripes on it and the whole deal. My point is here, she's not having to do that, but it's the public humility of it.
Yes.
I guarantee you, if she was just fined her $250 and taking her license away for 30 days, chances are probably pretty good that she doesn't care. She's going to do it again. Standing out somewhere and saying, I'm a stupid idiot, makes you maybe think twice again about doing it. Yeah, I think personally that when you saw her texting and doing all that and not really taking her stuff seriously, I think you should have just said, okay, that day didn't count, and now we're going to add a couple more days to it. I think absolutely.
I think what I read was that she had that punishment for an hour. I think that it should have been longer. It should have been a day, a week, 5 days. You know, I think I would have gone a little bit further and also added public safety classes, presentation she has to give in the community and to the schools so that she learns, okay, this is what you need to do, this is what you don't do when school buses are stopped, and in order to prevent any children from getting hurt. So I would have her do something a little bit longer.
And I agree with Martha and Jay.
Wow.
What's going on now?
It was us kissing and making up.
This is it.
I will say I believe she needed to pay a little bit more than $250.
Yes.
I feel financially you know, the more you have to pay, the more you're probably not going to want to do it again. But also, I believe it's a good punishment. Embarrassment punishment is a good punishment, and it's a very cost-effective way as a taxpayer. I'm not paying a cent for her spending time in jail. So for me, I think it's a great punishment.
And you know, I would like to say that I have paid a lot more money than that for a speeding ticket. Yeah. All right, and she possibly could have killed people, and she only got $250, not even close to the amount of money she should have
That's what
paid.
I'm saying. It should have been more.
All right, now we're moving on to our next topic, which is all campuses, Arizona State University campuses, have placed a ban on smoking on campus. So a lot of students outraged about this. You can see right there, they got a few of them smoking, but there is this protest that they had where they were giving away free cigarettes, and they're signing a petition right there to have this ban revoked. Now, my question to you all is, do you think this ban is justified, or do you think the university is overstepping its boundaries on placing it?
I'll start. You know, first of all, I applaud the university taking a stand to try to promote a healthier environment. With that said, they already had a rule in effect that you can't smoke within 25 feet of the building. I just don't see how they're going to enforce a ban. ASU is known as a party school. Why not take on alcohol abuse and awareness, or maybe just kind of come up with some awareness campaign? I think the fact that people are talking about it, you know, smoking is bad for you, everyone knows that, but people are still addicted to it. Maybe they have offer some classes for students who want to quit, or offer them with some resources. But I just don't see how they're going to enforce a school-wide ban. I mean, in theory, it's great to promote health and wellness for students, but at the end of the day, they have to make their own decisions. And, you know, students and faculty that work there and staff, I mean, how are they going to enforce it on them? You know, they're adults, and they make their own decisions about what's best for themselves. So.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you, Martha, because I believe as a non-smoker, I do not like it when I'm next to somebody who is smoking. Secondhand smoke kills. If I'm making the decision to live a healthy life and not smoke, I don't want to be standing next to somebody where I'm inhaling their smoke. I think the ban is justified. I'm not sure how they're going to enforce it, but as far as in the right steps, I absolutely am happy that there's a ban.
I mean, I'm not a smoker, and again, like with you, I do not appreciate when people smoke near me. But you know,
always have the option to move.
You always have the option to move. It's my favorite phrase since I've been on the show. Last I checked, this is the United States of America. I am not a smoker. Never been a smoker. Everybody in my family smokes. I don't smoke. You know, it's legal. It's a privilege that has been given to these people, whether I like it or not. They have the right to smoke it. And for even like the bars and stuff, they're now in Arizona. You cannot smoke in a bar. I was one of those people, even though I didn't smoke, said that's wrong. Now we've got government telling us who we can and can't have inside our bars. Now they're telling us who we can and can't have outside our colleges. You know, yes, I love the fact that they're trying to, you know, save lives and it's, you know, be healthier and stuff. But again, it's the government and the state stepping in, taking more of our freedoms that are rightfully ours as Americans. I understand there's secondhand smoke. There is. You can move. That person can move. You can tell them, hey, you know, can you move over? If you're outside, you know, there's ways to get away from it. You don't have to be directly breathing it.
Even that is private business versus a public government campus, you know, though. So I mean, I can see if I'm a waitress working at a restaurant, then I don't
work
want.
there.
Well, you
go
know,
get another job somewhere else. You don't like to smoke inside the restaurant?
The thing
then
is,
don't go to that restaurant.
With drinking, this person her drinking alcohol next to me is not affecting me. Her smoking is affecting me. That's the problem.
Then don't go to that restaurant.
Between the two vices.
Then don't go there.
Well, like, I would like to go to ASU. I'm going to run into that.
Well, you don't have to go out and move it down the sidewalk.
I don't have to cut you guys off because we're wrapping this up, but great discussion today.
I'm right, they're wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you to all our Sunrise panel today, and we'll be sure to see you next week here on What's Trending. Now we're going to go ahead and toss it to break.